Your nephew just turned $50,000 into $4 million with Bitcoin. Your barber won't shut up about how he's retiring at 32. BlackRock, Fidelity, and entire countries are going all in. And you're sitting there wondering, am I the idiot for not buying? No, you're the only sane person left in a room full of people who are about to lose everything. Warren Buffett, the man who's never lost money in a market crash, just said 6 words that should terrify every Bitcoin holder. It's a gambling device, nothing more. And in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why the smartest investor alive would rather eat a cyanide pill than buy Bitcoin at $103,000. Because what's coming isn't a correction, it's an extinction event, and most people will never see it coming. Let me guess where you are right now. You're exhausted. You're watching everyone around you get rich while you're still showing up to a job you hate. You're watching your savings account lose 8% to inflation every year while your coworker just bought a Porsche with his crypto gains. And the worst part? You know the Bitcoin story. You understand it. Hell, you probably understand it better than most people buying it. The 21 million cap, the halving cycles, the institutional adoption, digital gold, all of it makes perfect sense. So why does something in your gut keep screaming, don't do this? Let me tell you why. Because your gut knows what your brain refuses to accept. You're not early, you're late. You're not getting into Bitcoin at the ground floor. You're walking into the top floor of a burning building while everyone with the brain is running for the exits. And the people telling you to buy? They're not your friends. They're holding bags that are about to become worthless, and they need you, desperately need you, to be the person they sell to before the music stops. Here's what nobody tells you. In every bubble in human history, the people who bought at the top thought they were early. The people who bought tulips in 1637 Amsterdam thought they were early. The people who bought Pets.com in 1999 thought they were early. They were all wrong. And you're about to make the exact same mistake. Let me tell you a story Warren Buffett tells, but nobody listens to. In 1980, gold hit $850 an ounce. Adjusted for inflation, that's over $3,000 today. And the narrative was perfect. The dollar was collapsing, inflation was 13%, the Soviet Union was expanding, oil prices were through the roof. Every single smart person on Earth said gold is the only safe asset left. So what happened? Gold crashed 65% in 2 years. And it took 28 goddamn years to get back to $850. Meanwhile, if you'd bought the S&P 500 in 1980 and just sat there like a boring idiot, you'd have made 13x your money by 2008. Now let me ask you something. What's the difference between the gold narrative in 1980 and the Bitcoin narrative in 2025? Nothing. It's the exact same script, word for word. Here's what Buffett understands that you don't. An asset that produces nothing will always return to its intrinsic value, and Bitcoin's intrinsic value is 0. Let me prove it to you. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine you bought 1 Bitcoin today for $103,000. Now imagine a law passes tomorrow that legally locks you out from selling it for 20 years. You cannot sell, you cannot trade, you can only hold. How do you feel right now? Be honest. If your stomach just dropped, you already know the truth. You're not investing, you're gambling. And deep down, you know it. Now let's compare that to owning Coca-Cola stock for 20 years. What happens? Coca-Cola makes billions of bottles of soda, ships them to 200 countries, pays you dividends every single quarter, reinvests profits, grows bigger every year. In 20 years, you're rich. guaranteed. What does Bitcoin do in 20 years? Nothing. It sits in your wallet hoping, praying that someone 20 years from now is more excited about it than you are today. That's not investing. That's delusion. Buffett put it this way: would you rather own the goose that lays golden eggs or the goose that you hope to sell to a bigger fool? Bitcoin is the second goose. It always has been, and at $103,000, you're the fool. Now let me destroy the institutional argument, because this is the one thing keeping you on the fence right now. You're thinking, but BlackRock is buying, Fidelity is buying, entire countries are buying. These are smart people with billions of dollars. They can't all be wrong. Yes, they can, and they are. Let me tell you what institutions actually are. They're glorified salesmen managing other people's money. They don't get fired for losing money. They get fired for not being in the hot thing when everyone else is. In 1999, every major bank had a dot-com strategy. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, all of them were telling grandmas to buy Pets.com and Webvan. In 2007, Lehman Brothers had AAA ratings 2 weeks before bankruptcy. Institutions don't predict crashes. They cause them. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Institutions aren't buying Bitcoin because they believe in it. They're buying it because you believe in it. They're creating ETFs, running Super Bowl ads, putting Bitcoin on CNBC 24/7, not because they want you to get rich, but because they need exit liquidity. You are the exit liquidity. Let me show you how this works. Right now, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF holds over 550,000 BTC. Sounds impressive, right? Like they're in it for the long haul. But here's what you don't know. ETFs don't hold forever. They sell when their clients sell. And when Bitcoin drops 40% in 2 weeks, which it's done twice already, panicked boomers with $1 million retirement accounts are going to call their advisors screaming, "Get me out," and BlackRock will dump. Fidelity will dump. Every single institution will dump, all at the same time. And you know who they're selling to? You, the retail investor who bought at $103,000 because BlackRock wouldn't buy if it wasn't safe. This is the game. This is how every bubble works. The smart money gets in early, pumps the narrative, waits for the dumb money to show up, and then they sell you their bags at the top. You think you're playing the game, but you're not. You're the game. Now here's the part that's going to make you uncomfortable, because we need to talk about why you're even considering Bitcoin in the first place. It's not because you did the math. It's not because you believe in decentralization or monetary revolution. It's because you're in pain. You're financially stressed. You're watching everyone around you succeed while you're treading water. You're terrified you're going to be left behind. And Bitcoin is selling you a dream. Buy this and all your problems disappear. That's not investing. That's desperation. And desperation is how people lose everything. Let me tell you what's really happening. You're experiencing something psychologists call narrative seduction. Your brain is so desperate for a solution, for a shortcut, for a way out, that it will believe any story that sounds good enough. And the Bitcoin story sounds incredible right now. 21 million cap, halving cycles, institutional adoption, $1 million per coin, financial freedom, retire your parents, prove everyone wrong. It's intoxicating, I get it. But here's the truth. Every bubble in history had a story this good. In 1637, tulips were the ultimate status symbol that kings paid fortunes for. In 1720, the South Sea Company was going to monopolize all trade with South America. In 1929, stocks were in a permanently high plateau. In 1999, the internet was going to change everything and PE ratios don't matter. Every single time, the story was perfect. The logic was flawless. The future was guaranteed. And every single time, the people who bought at the top lost everything. So let me ask you, what makes you think Bitcoin is different? Say this affirmation with me right now, out loud. I will not destroy my financial future chasing a dream that's already over. I am not desperate. I am disciplined. Type that in the comments. Let it sink in, because this is the moment where you choose between wealth and ruin.
All right, let's get technical, because I'm not just here to scare you. I'm here to save you. Here's exactly what you do instead of buying Bitcoin at $103,000. Step 1. Accept that you missed Bitcoin. If you didn't buy Bitcoin at $100, $1,000, or even $10,000, you missed it. That's okay. You also missed Apple at $1, Amazon at $10, and Google at $50. You know what successful investors do when they miss something? They move on. They don't chase it at the top. Step 2. Calculate your actual risk. Take the amount you're thinking about putting into Bitcoin, let's say it's $10,000. Now ask yourself, if this goes to $1,000, a 90% drop that's already happened twice, will I be okay? If the answer is no, you already have your answer. Don't do it. Step 3. Invest in the boring millionaire strategy instead. Take that $10,000 and buy a basket of world-class businesses that actually produce value. Apple, Microsoft, Berkshire Hathaway, Coca-Cola, Visa, Johnson & Johnson, Costco. What happens in 30 years? At a conservative 10% annual return. Year 10, $25,900. Year 20, $67,300. Year 30, $174,000. Zero stress, zero 80% crashes, zero weekends watching charts. Dividends are hitting your account every quarter, compounding doing the heavy lifting. Step 4. Build real wealth the way it's always been built. Here's the secret nobody wants to hear. Real wealth is boring. It's buying great businesses and holding them forever. It's collecting dividends. It's reinvesting. It's living below your means. It's patience. Bitcoin at $103,000 is the opposite of all of that. It's excitement. It's FOMO. It's gambling disguised as investing. And gambling always ends the same way. Step 5. Protect your psychology. Unfollow every crypto influencer, leave every Bitcoin group chat, stop watching your nephew brag about his gains. Because here's what's going to happen. He's going to ride it all the way back down and lose everything. And when that happens, you need to be far enough away that you don't get pulled into the wreckage. Let me tell you 2 possible futures for you. Future A. You buy Bitcoin at $103,000. For 6 months, it feels incredible. It goes to $120,000, $140,000, $180,000. You're a genius. You're telling everyone. You're already planning your exit. But you don't, because greed is stronger than fear. And then one morning you wake up and Bitcoin is at $90,000, then $70,000, then $40,000. You tell yourself it's just a dip. Institutions are here this time. But they're not. They have already sold. You're holding their bags. 2 years later, Bitcoin is at $20,000. Your $10,000 is now $1,900. Your marriage is under stress. Your kid's college fund is gone. You can't sleep. You hate yourself. And every single day for the rest of your life, you think about this moment, this video where someone tried to warn you. Future B, you don't buy Bitcoin. You invest in boring, productive businesses instead. Bitcoin goes to $200,000, maybe even $500,000. And yeah, it stings watching people celebrate. But then, like clockwork, it crashes. 70%, 80%, 90%, just like it did in 2018 and 2022. And while everyone else is sobbing into their portfolios, you're sitting there watching your dividend stocks pay you. Watching your portfolio compound quietly, sleeping like a baby every single night. 10 years later, you're a millionaire. Not because you hit the lottery, but because you did the boring thing that works every single time. Which future do you want? Here's your second affirmation. Say it. I choose peace over FOMO. I choose wealth over gambling. I will not destroy what I've built chasing what I've missed. Type it in the comments, make it real. So here's the bottom line, and I want you to hear this clearly. Warren Buffett isn't warning you about Bitcoin because he's old, out of touch, or scared of new technology. He's warning you because he's seen this exact movie 50 times. Tulips, railways, radio, automobiles, dot-coms, housing, gold. Every single time the story was perfect. Every single time the crowd was convinced. And every single time the people who bought at the top lost everything. Bitcoin at $103,000 is no different. The only thing that's changed is the asset. The psychology is identical. And here's what I need you to understand. If you buy Bitcoin today and it goes to zero, there is no undo button. You can't get that money back. You can't rewind time. It's gone. But if you skip Bitcoin and it goes to $1 million, you'll still be fine. You'll still be rich. You'll still sleep well. Because you built wealth the right way, with real businesses that produce real cash flow. That's the asymmetry nobody talks about. Missing Bitcoin won't destroy you, but buying it might. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take whatever money you were thinking about putting into Bitcoin and put it in an index fund. VOO, VTI, something boring and simple. Then close your laptop, go spend time with your family, and forget about it for 20 years. In 20 years, you'll be rich. Guaranteed. Not because you got lucky, but because you were disciplined enough to avoid the trap that wrecks everyone else. That's it. That's the entire game. Before you go, hit that like button if this video just saved your financial life. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we're going deep into the psychology of wealth and the traps that destroy most people. And right now, go watch the video on the screen about why the people who chase quick money always end up broke. Because this is only part one. The real education is understanding why your brain keeps sabotaging your success. Now go. Build real wealth. And remember, Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire by gambling. He became one by never losing. See you at the next one. Stay safe out there.